Water, the lifeblood of Central Oregon. It flows through every vein of this stunning landscape, connecting us all to the rhythm of nature. Here, water is not just a resource, it's a playground, a sanctuary of enjoyment and relaxation. We paddle in its lakes and rivers, we gaze in awe at its cascades, and we connect to the wild through its beauty and raw power. It is the very essence of prosperity for Central Oregon's farmers and their age-old connection to the land. Through generations, they've tilled the soil and sowed the seeds, knowing that water is the key to sustenance and abundance. Water is the thread that binds us all in Central Oregon. It's at the heart of nearly everything we do. Yet, with its undeniable importance, water is also a finite resource, demanding our respect and protection. Let us embrace the responsibility of safeguarding our waterways, cherishing their beauty and preserving their purity for generations to come. For in the heart of Central Oregon, water is not just a resource. It's the very essence of life, a gift that we must cherish and honor with every drop.
Our Deschutes Basin aquifer is a large bowl, with a deep end near the Cascade Mountains, becoming shallower to the northeast. Our side of the Cascades drains into this bowl, creating groundwater, which is the source for our aquifers, springs, and wells.
The most phenomenal thing about the aquifer in Central Oregon under Bend, Redmond, in the Madras area is it is extremely robust and plentiful. The amount of water that runs through the system is tremendous. We're talking millions of acre feet.
Well, we have a vast aquifer underneath us that's recharged mostly by snowpack in the Cascades. We are seeing groundwater declines.
Although our groundwater is plentiful, our current extended drought is putting pressure on the water table.
This drought has been a prolonged one over the last 22 years, where we haven't had a series of years where there was exceptional or abundant rainfall and snowpack. And so naturally, the water table has been dropping, and we have seen declines on the order of 20 to 30 feet in the aquifer in Central Oregon.
And so the cities, their future water supply does depend on groundwater, and we're going to have to be even more careful with groundwater moving forward. So as we move into more growth, more drought and climate change, we're just going to have to be more careful with both the surface water from the rivers and the groundwater.
Along with groundwater, our surface water, such as lakes and rivers, play an important role in our area.
If you look at the river behind me, it looks really good, right? A lot of water in that river. If you go downstream about a mile, 90% of this water is getting diverted for use on farms and irrigated agriculture. So the river suffers from low stream flows in certain areas at certain times of the year. So what the DRC does is we work collaboratively in partnership with irrigation districts, farmers, cities, all the partners in the basin to figure out projects that can keep more water in the river and improve fish and wildlife habitat and water quality.
The section of the river right behind us, the flow typically, if we were set back in time 30 years ago, would be 30 cubic feet per second or less. Now the flow is roughly 130, 140 CFS during the middle part of the summer. And so that percentage change in stream restoration has really beneficial impact to the stream ecology and its the wildlife that associate with the river.
You might see large canal piping projects happening in Central Oregon. Sometimes those go through neighborhoods and people lose water features, but those projects are one of the biggest opportunities we have to restore stream flow and to help farmers in Jefferson County, who are the most productive farmers that are really suffering to get their water needs met in drought years.
It's estimated about 50% of the water that's diverted is lost, and the irrigation districts are trying to improve on that, and that should be applauded. However, if you have a well that was drilled next to a canal and the canal is piped or lined, there's a potential for that well to go dry. So there will be a change in how much recharge occurs to the aquifer in Central Oregon, but it's still a small percentage of the overall recharge and the overall water budget of the canal system.
Between the city of Bend, and the many other local groups caring for our water. The future of water is in good hands.
So we work with farmers and ranchers around Deschutes County, and we help them to improve their on-farm irrigation systems. There's still a lot of flood irrigators in Deschutes County, which means their irrigation just will flood across the entire fields, which is pretty inefficient for many reasons, for evaporation, and also it doesn't cover as much ground. So we help them replace their flood irrigation into sprinkler systems that you see, which is a lot more efficient for their water rates.
So one of the big focuses for us right now at the City of Bend is expanding our conservation programs. That was one of our City Council goals and one of the things that we feel is just good business. So we're working closely with our residential community, our multifamily customers, business and industry as well, to really understand what types of conservation programs and incentives and services we can provide as a water utility to help them as customers use less water. That's going to be really important as we move into the future and really continue to navigate pretty challenging water times.
There are many ways we can all help conserve water.
Even if you live in the City of Bend, you can run your sprinkler systems in the early morning or late in the evening or throughout the night. Also, converting from irrigation sprinkler systems to drip kits, or converting your lawn from grass to pollinators and native landscaping is very helpful to conserve water. So there's lots of possibilities.
What I would like people in Bend to know is that while you enjoy the river every day, it has really big challenges. And so be a steward of the river, understand what's going on with the river, get involved with your local groups that are helping the river, and get tapped in.